Hello and welcome to Colouring with Colourful Crafts. I am back with some more completed pages from Tales from the Witches Cottage to show you. I'm sorry I haven't been around recently. We have had some decorating done for the house, so everything's been a bit up and down and I haven't really been able to complete very much, but I am back today with a brief flip through of the completed pages I have done for you to see and hope you enjoy. So this is by no means in any particular order, I'm just going straight into it. I've marked them off with some tabs here. Oh, I didn't even mark that one off. There you go. So that one, of course, with the cat on the roof, or the cats on the roof. Don't know how well it's picking up on camera, can't actually see very well, but yeah, that one you've already seen. This one is the next one I chose to do. So this is of a flower in like a frame. I thought that was quite nice. I didn't know what colours to do it. I wanted to do it more of an autumnal, so I went for browns and yellows and oranges, and I think that worked quite well. I did manage to again get ink and paint splodges on, but there you go. That's just, I think it always helps to kind of see that things aren't always as perfect as they might seem. Well, I know from experience, when I see a lot of people doing these kind of things, I'm like, God, that looks so perfect. And I want to point out that it isn't perfect. You get marks and splodges everywhere because that's just being human, isn't it? The next one I did is of the mushrooms, and it has a very Last of Us vibe to it. But I like that. I decided to do them in traditional mushroomy colours. Well, the toadstool ones and then the other purpley ones, I just did purple for witches because it reminded me of a witch's hat. And then that was it really. Some ghosts in the background, and oh yeah, and the little blue crystals, all mainly done with watercolour, a few basic pens, and that was it, I think. Oh, maybe some pencils as well in there, but mostly done with watercolour. Pencils for the plant pots that they're sat in. The not polychromos, the Prismacolor for those ones. And then the next one is of some bats and a sign. I don't know what they call them. A sickle or something like that. And then a bunch of, I believe they are lavender. They look like lavender to me. So I decided to do that one. Some little bats, a nice colour theme there. I tried to stick to one anyway. Watercolours again, and a tiny bit of pencil, I believe. Maybe just to kind of put a bit of shading in, and that was it. That was that one. That one you've seen. When I say you, I'm just doing it for reference here. Now this one, this is an odd thing you might ask, you might say. I have a sheet of plain black paper over because the one I did here went a bit wrong. I was working on putting a glow at the side, and I was adding some stars, and I decided I didn't like them, so I kind of went over them with pencil, and then I realised I used far too much pencil. And for this kind of thing, blending in and pencil and all of that kind of work, especially the Prismacolors, which are very waxy, tend to come off on the opposite page. And since I hadn't done that page yet, I luckily had some black paper, cardstock, so I managed to just sellotape it in basically. Don't know how long it'll hold, but hopefully a bit longer. And then I'm just sellotape that page in, so that it protects this one until I get round to it. That's why that's there. Also, I guess it's quite pleasing when you see the black kettle along with the black page. But that, anyway, that's just why that's there. So there was that one. And then my next one I've done is this one. Is of the cat in the tree. And I couldn't really work out whether to make this a nighttime scene or a daytime scene. I love the colours I did the cat, and then it kind of went a bit awry from there, and I didn't really know what to do with it. So I decided to do it a nice bluey coloured sky, and now I'm not sure whether it's a nighttime sky or a daytime sky, but I'll leave you to decide on that one. It's not the best I've ever done. I wish I could have done it better, but that was just mainly I think polychromas on this one. A few pens I use for these to highlight them, and the watercolours. Oh, I apologise for my dog in the background there barking. Then we have these. These ones are of, this one is of the what's that called? Fireplace, not fireplace, the fire stove, and the cat in a basket with the little dragons. I tried to put my own twist on it. Yeah, quite happy with that. I've also added some bigger lumps of coal because I thought, well, that would be what typically would be there, because I was looking at these little blobs down here and I was thinking, well, what would they be? And then I thought, oh, of course, coal. But they didn't seem large enough to me, so I went and added a few to make them look larger than that. And then over here is the other page of the bottles, which I wasn't really sure what to do with at first, and then I decided to do that one like a nighttime starry theme, and then that one's like a daytime sky, and then that one's a bit like the sun, so I decided to do it oranges. Yeah, I've had a bit of problem with bleed through from this page. That has bled through, and also some of that along the box there has also bled through there. So there's a bit of marks, which always ends up annoying me because I've got really bad OCD about that, but there wasn't much I could do. I decided to just keep with it. And then for the background, I use a Tim Holtz stencil and some ink, some blue ink, to give it a bit of a starry kind of look to the background there. And then I'm just getting to the next one here that I've marked off. There's this one of the wishing well. I don't believe I showed that on the previous video. If I did, I apologise, I've forgotten. It's been quite a long while since I've uploaded, so I don't always remember which one I showed or not, but I don't think I showed it. And then there's the witch, and of course, as is typical of me, I've got ink all over the page, but she is done and I'm quite happy with how she turned out. I didn't want to do too much to her to make her eyes pop out. I wanted them to be very subtle and just have these purple lips. I think that worked. It could have got better. It could have gone better, maybe, but it's okay for now. And then there is finally this one I did the other day of the, now tell me, is that a crow or a sparrow, or I'm not quite sure which bird that is, but I did that. Then I also added on this little spider as my own interpretation of what I kind of felt like it needed adding to it. I don't know if you can see that very well. I first did it in pencil, went over it in pen. It's left a bit of a mark around it, I can't get it off, but the rest of it overall I'm quite pleased with. So that was that. And now on to what I am going to be showing for the month of, well, for the rest of this month. Starting from the 20th, I'm going to have my, as I have called it myself, 12 Days of Karlaween, which is basically the new Hanna Karlzon. I haven't got it with me at the minute, but the one, her new Halloween colouring book. There is going to be 12, I've called it my 12 days instead of Christmas, 12 Days of Karlaween. So there's going to be 12 pages to show you, reflecting 12 days from the 20th of Halloween. And I'm going to try and come on and show you what I've done, either as individual videos or together. I'm not quite sure yet, but there is that coming up, which should be good, and hopefully that will be something you want to tune in for. And also a brief review of some more paints that I have purchased. So there's that to come, and yeah, hope you enjoyed. I shall see you later. Bye.